I am feeling the effects of masculinity right now. I feel the testosterone. I want to go to war! I want a lightsaber! I'm a man! War!
That is Jonathan Lee Riches, a YouTuber that covers missing children and adult crime cases. But for those of you that doesn't know, he has a very, very dark past. And we're going to go back a few years. And we're going to see some of the things that started getting him the notoriety that he has today. Now, for those of you that says, well, he's doing good now, well, no, he has not.
Fully understand how Jonathan got to this trolling parasite entity that he is now. We're gonna have to go back to the beginning, and everything that I'm reading, the articles will be referenced in the description under this video. Some of the articles are no longer available, but their newspaper or their affiliate will be linked also. In the early 2000s, when the less affluent, the technologically unsophisticated, and the simply reluctant masses were just starting to find their bearings online, Jonathan Lee Riches helped develop the identity theft technique known as phishing. He was in his mid-20s, living in Florida, and collaborating with teenage chat room acquaintances in Texas, who used spam emails to trick victims into disclosing personal information. Rich's role was to monetize the data, which he accomplished by seamlessly navigating the online and offline worlds. In contemporaneous news accounts, investigators described the way Riches would stroll into a bank, flash fake identification, and coolly impersonate his mark, convincing tellers to hand over thousands of dollars in cash. The consequences reverberated.
And this is just one of the many things that I'll be reporting on. And people, certain ones, wanted to come after me for talking about Jonathan Lee Riches and saying, oh, he's changed. Well, he hasn't changed if he's hurting his girlfriend, you know?
By the estimate of the FBI, the group charged more than $1.4 million to accounts opened in the names of about 2,000 people. Rich's own parents, who live in a small town in Pennsylvania, served probation for failing to fully cooperate with investigators. He was sentenced to 125 months in prison for fraud and conspiracy. Riches kept up a steady legal correspondence on his case. In March of 2006, from a medium security prison in South Carolina, he filed a motion seeking the return of confiscated assets, including 23 new PlayStation video games, a commemorative Super Bowl football, 66 new shirts with tags, I wonder if they all said media, a plunger, a subwoofer, and a box of life vests.
What you're hearing is the beginnings part of when he was charged with war fraud. This is the details of what he did. So if you want to come after me for reporting who's in this community, feel free.
The document drew little attention or sympathy, and a judge ordered the items forfeited to the FBI for donation to Goodwill. In hindsight, though, his signature on the sworn statement, Jonathan Lee Riches with the copyright symbol at the end, signified the start of an improvisatory publicity campaign. He used the copyright symbol that same month in a 9-page conspiracy complaint seeking damages of almost $400 trillion, backed by gold or silver. Filing his suit in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, he named several hundred defendants, including President Bush, Pope Benedict XVI, Bill Gates, and Kofi Annan. Rich's lawsuit was eventually dismissed on the grounds of felony.
And just wait till you hear what was reported, and it is public knowledge of what he did in prison. Unbelievable.
Failure to pay a $250 filing fee. But a more pretentious result did emerge. His work had been sucked into the internet's slipstream with viral results. At this point, we are in the middle of 2006. At this point, his image begins to appear regularly on legal blogs such as Dreadnought, Above the Law, and even the hard-hitting Smoking Gun. One blogger called him America's favorite serial litigant. Over the next 6 years, he became a world-class irritant by filing absurd, frivolous, pro se lawsuits. He filed thousands of them against anyone and everyone. The Kardashians, Kanye West, whom Rich is accused of running a secret Al-Qaeda camp, Belichick, Michael Vick, anyone. So prolific a litigant was Riches that he became a one-man burden on the federal court system, a troll tagging the docket forever. In 2010, federal prosecutors won an unprecedented and possibly unconstitutional nationwide injunction against him to prevent him from suing, claiming that if he weren't stopped, the government would suffer irreparable harm. Riches
I am feeling the effects of masculinity right now. I feel the testosterone. I want to go to war! I want a lightsaber! I'm a man! War!
Haven't you always felt just something a little off with him?
immediately bypassed the injunction by slipping a batch of lawsuits to a soon-to-be released inmate to file on the outside for him. The prison cracked down hard after this. No paper in his cell, no stamps. This only caused Jonathan to go on a hunger strike in protest.
It's not uncommon for prisoners to go on a hunger strike if they feel like their civil rights were violated. However, none of his civil rights were violated.
After 22 days, the warden had him force-fed through a tube. This just shows his dedication to misinformation. Jonathan was different. He trolled harder, unafraid to use his name and face, often no stamps. This only caused Jonathan to go on a hunger strike in protest. After 22 days, the warden had him force-fed through a tube. This just shows his dedication to misinformation. Jonathan was different. He trolled harder, unafraid to use his name and face, often shunning a keyboard in favor of real-world trickery, all of which made him a more effective hoaxer. Now, I obviously cannot mention every single lawsuit because there are thousands, but the next couple I think are very important to mention. I would say it helps us understand Jonathan, but I don't think there's any understanding this guy. But it gives us some insight into the type of individual that Jonathan is, and it shows us the lengths that this man will go to effectively hoax, troll, parasite a situation,
I am feeling the effects of masculinity right now. I feel the testosterone. I want to go to war! I want a lightsaber! I'm a man! War!